want to talk when we get to 6A, or did you just want to stand by for questions? Okay. Mark, there's agenda right there, Mark, if you want to grab.
They got it all hammered out.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this council meeting. Glad you could join us. I'd like to begin by standing for a moment of silence, and then we'll follow that with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if we could have roll call, please.
Tom Eggers.
Here.
Wayne Barahona.
Here.
Brad Hint.
Here.
Ken Snyder.
Here.
Pete Hamill.
Here. This is going to be a change for all of you, myself included, but instead of doing roll call on each vote, we're going to say all in favor, aye, all opposed, same sign, rather than taking time to go one by one, and that's been that way for a long time, so I'm a little jittery about making this change. But
What was the need for that?
they wanted to streamline the process a little bit.
Our meetings aren't that long.
They can be.
I
but
mean,
we'll give it a try and see how it goes today. So, with that in mind, then I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
Aye.
No, so moved. It comes to a vote, then you'll say aye.
So moved.
We have a motion.
Support.
Was there a second to that motion? I'll take yours
I'll
as a
support
second. I told you this was going to throw us off. All right, we have a motion and support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
That went well.
in other words,
We can do
we
this.
don't have to say anything.
That's right.
All right, now we move into the public forum of our meeting. Is there anyone, there are two public forums later on for a couple of items, but is there anyone wishing to address the council now about something not further down on the agenda? I'm seeing no movement out there, so we'll move on. Just wanted to make note, we have a couple of visitors today. Aiden Skemper is here. Aiden is the great-granddaughter of Vern Skemper, who served as mayor back in the day. He was a councilman first from January of 1976 to December of 83, and then he served as mayor from January of 86 to January of 88. And at one of those, I think it was the mayor thing, I would think he was appointed as a write-in candidate. He did not run a campaign, but he agreed that people would write him in and he would serve back in the day. Do you remember any details of that, Jill? No, Jill is her mom. She's also with us today. So anyway, good to have you with us, Aiden. She's here as part of a government class requirement, and so I hope you enjoy yourself. All right, let's move on then to the consent agenda. I'll take approval for that.
So moved. Support.
All right, whatever you're going to call this.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Or nays?
Okay.
I have a question. Are
Yes,
we
sir.
required to do a roll call vote for certain kinds of things?
You're just, you're not.
No?
So it needs, the roll call, it needs to be in the minutes. But if nobody votes no, it's recorded as a yes. We don't have to do it that way.
So how do you abstain?
Then you have to say you're gonna abstain.
Okay.
And you're supposed to, the way it's supposed to work, if you abstain, you're supposed to state that you're abstaining and the reason why.
So like Pete's asking the question, what happens if one of us doesn't say anything?
Well, you record it as a yes.
Okay.
Do you have to abstain before the yay or nay?
Let's just go back to the old way. It's just an idea.
Okay.
It does streamline the process. We don't have, Brad's right, our meetings aren't that long, so just.
I'm gonna make an executive decision and just keep it as it is, because this is goofy.
Aye.
Yeah.
That's right, aye.
That's
All
good,
right.
because I was
You
going
know
to
how
call for
people
a
vote,
hearing
so
on
we're
that
keeping
change.
it.
We're gonna do roll call as we have for years and years and years and years.
We are gonna do that?
We're gonna stay with the old system.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
It was an idea before its time, so. Right.
We're
All
a
right, let's
council
get
of
serious
change,
here. We're
aren't
back
we?
to business, back to business. So, all right, we are now moving on to new business. Item 6A, the Community Development Block Grant application for the upper store housing. And because it is a Community Development Block Grant application, I have to read through a series of instructions or okay, yeah, let's do that. Let's have the hearing first. Is there anyone that wishes to address council regarding this upper story housing project on the HC Lane buildings?
Keep the hearing open and read that.
Okay. So we do have the developers, owners here with us today. Anything you'd like to address the council with at this point? Or you just be... I didn't have anything prepared, so... That's fine, and you don't have to. All right, very good. So if no one wants to address council on this, then I have something that is required to be read during the hearing. So recent growth and job creation within the community of Sheldon and the region has increased the demand for quality, affordable housing for residents, including rental units for individuals and families who meet low to moderate income designation. In addition, the city has experienced overcrowding of available units due to the lack of affordable units within the area. The proposed White House Properties upper story housing project will be funded through a combination of CDBG grant funds and private funds provided by the developer, White House Properties. It is estimated that total project costs will be $777,328. The grant application will be submitted to the Iowa Economic Development Authority no later than November 22, 2023 at midnight. On behalf of the property owner, White House Properties LLC, the city is requesting $550,000 in CDBG funds for the proposed project. Should the project be awarded, the city will enter into a developer's agreement and a promissory note with the developer and the property owner. The project will result in the construction of 5 new upper-story rental units, of which 4 will be rented to qualified applicants, individuals and families, who meet the low to moderate income guidelines for the county. Of the 5 units, 1 unit will be a 1-bedroom rental unit, and 4 units will be 2-bedroom units. White House Properties has agreed to rent the required units to low to moderate income individuals or families for a minimum of 3 years, as required by the grant funding source. The proposed project activities will take place in the building owned by White House Properties LLC at 324 to 326 9th Street in Sheldon, Iowa. All 5 units will be upper story rental units. The existing space is vacant and unoccupiable currently. As such, the proposed project will not result in the displacement or relocation of any persons or businesses. No persons will be displaced by the proposed project. White House Properties LLC proposes to convert vacant, unlivable space in the 2nd story of a building they own, located at 324 to 326 9th Street in Sheldon, into 5 rental units. The rental units are proposed to have a mix of 2 and 1 bedrooms with 1 or 2 bathrooms, a full kitchen, and laundry facilities. Will involve electrical, plumbing, and normal construction activities. The developer is also proposing to replace the existing exterior windows on the second story with new windows. Units will also be provided with broadband infrastructure. That is the extent of the instructions and the summary of the project. Are there any other questions from the council at this time?
I have one.
Okay.
Charlotte, I'm sorry I didn't call you before the meeting to ask this, but you and I have talked a little bit about parking before. The question that came up recently to me is with the new units coming downtown, will there be an agreement with the tenant or a requirement with the tenants that they not park on the street blocking businesses?
On the front of the building?
Mhm.
We'll keep that free for business.
Okay.
So that'll be in the tenant agreements?
Yeah.
All right.
I know there's, while you're bringing up, Sam, there's been this discussion at the SCDC level about if the developer has addressed or looked into the parking issue for their tenants overnight. Has that been done where your tenants could possibly park?
Yeah, if you would.
It's been a discussion at several SCDC meetings lately.
For the record, would you state your full name, Charlotte?
Charlotte Holub Kunkel.
Thank you and welcome.
Thanks. As far as parking goes, I was under the assumption that there was city parking here at this building.
Out there in the lot.
Yeah. So that's where I was proposing for tenant parking.
Okay. That answer your question?
Yep.
Anyone else? Now would be your
Mine.
time. Yep.
So, and that works, it's just the rules in that lot is that the cars are supposed to move every day and not have a car or a camper that's sitting there for.
Yeah, I'll make it known that in the lease that there's no vehicles that are immovable or recreational vehicles, that sort of thing, that would be parking on city lot. And then the vehicles would need to move every 24 hours.
Okay.
Would there be any restrictions, like for snow and when storm? How do you remove the snow from the parking lot?
Todd
That's where the
Schuken said
24-hour
no.
thing comes in.
Yeah, we just move it around them as best we can, and then as they move, we try to come back and clean up. It's far from perfect, but it's the best we got. I would rather have them all in that lot than spread out around other areas of the town.
Right. Okay. Thank you.
Uh,
So I just want to clarify for you, so you don't feel like you're being singled out on the parking issue. What Brad was alluding to at the SCDC discussion is we're looking at overall parking needs for the city,
Yep.
for downtown. So just want you to understand that.
Nope, I'm well aware of that.
Okay, very good.
All right. If there are no more questions, you're free to sit down again, and we thank you for your investment in town. We're excited about it. It looks good to see activity there, and
Thanks. We're excited too.
very good. So with that, we need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Eggers.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Snyder.
All right.
Hamel.
Aye.
Okay. And then there is a resolution approving the location and need for proposed upper story development, this upper story development project. I'll take a motion to approve that.
So move.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Snyder.
All right.
Hamel.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Kent.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
All right. Then let's move on. I'd like to open the public hearing for our next item, which is the Bethel site redevelopment. Is there anyone wishing to address the council regarding that project at this time? Have we had written comments to that issue?
None.
Okay. Seeing no activity, I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
So moved.
Support.
Roll call, please.
Kent.
Aye.
Snyder.
All right.
Farahona.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Hamel.
Aye.
All right, then our next item is consideration of the preliminary and final plots. Is there anything you have to comment on there, Sam? Okay, do we need to approve that?
Yes,
Okay,
we should do a roll call.
all right. I'll take a motion to approve and the preliminary and final plots that are shown in your agendas.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Hamel.
Aye.
Eggers.
Aye.
Farahona.
Aye.
Snyder.
Aye.
Hint.
Aye.
Well, then it's somewhat related to that is the resolution approving amendments to the minimum assessment agreement for the Bethel site development. Take a roll call to approve that as well.
So moved.
Support.
Any discussion?
Is this on item C,
Yes,
the minimum assessment?
yes.
So that went
Would
from
you like me
eight,
to explain it real quick?
it went from 800,000 to 1.6 million?
It did.
Okay.
Yeah, and then, and Brad had also changed by 2 years. So instead of starting January 1 of 2024, it starts January 1 of 2026.
Any other questions or comments?
Why was the change? What was the change for? The 2 years?
To provide time for the new developer to build. That was something that had been presented a few months ago.
But I believe everybody knew in the beginning when it was going to start in '24. I understand the project changed several times, but in the beginning, they knew when it was going to start when we gave Bethel the money.
And that was with cap investors,
And Bethel.
correct?
So everybody all along knew when it was going to start.
Let me find when that, usually I have those like, let me find when he came. 'Cause there was an agenda item on that a few months ago.
It was probably tucked away.
Just as an FYI, why Sam is looking for that, current developer did call me last week, told me he was not able to attend tonight, but he said if there was any questions, he did want the council to know that if things get done quick enough, he does plan on starting on 2 of the duplex units yet this fall. The southwest and center. Southwest being a duplex with a basement, the center unit being a duplex off slab on grade.
So Todd, did he also share with you that possibly he's got 2 of them spoken for?
That's the urgency in wanting to get it started, yes.
Okay. That certainly has a bearing on when we'll get taxable income off of that property too, so something to consider.
So as they're completed, we start getting the tax and then, but everything...
As soon
has
as
to be
there's
done by
ownership of
26
the
is what you're
properties,
saying.
yeah.
Okay.
At least that's the way I understand it, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because ownership would be transferred.
Ownership's transferred, there's no agreement for any, assessment, so.
If
Did you
might,
find it?
I did.
Go ahead.
So it was presented on August 2, item 6B, and I believe the closing was August 15, a few weeks later. And so the concept was presented, and there wasn't a motion, but by consensus, it was to move forward with drafting a new minimum assessment agreement. And it says in the minutes, he is asking for the tax assessment to be moved to 2026. Then there were comments on the grass and the seeding and,
That was the day that he was here presenting, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on that? just need a roll call. Okay, I'm going to take roll call on that, please.
Snyder?
Aye.
Hamel?
Aye.
Farahona?
Aye.
Kent?
Aye.
Eggers?
Aye.
Okay. Moving on, Kristen, does Kristen just have a written report today?
Maria. and
Oh, Maria's
Stephen
here,
are
okay, very good. They're here for the SCAT report. Ambulance team.
Kristen has her grandmother's funeral and visitation
Okay.
evening tonight. So just kind of an update. Sam says you have it in front of you. Currently, we have 25 members. 3 are paramedics, 1 AEMT, 13 EMTs, 3 drivers, and 5 students, 2 of which are high school students and 3 are EMT students.
Maria, before you go any further, why don't you state your name just for the record, please?
Maria Van Velzen.
And your role is?
Secretary, treasurer.
Okay. with the
Could you
ambulance
put
team.
the mic a little closer to, please?
Yeah, if you can pull it, you got to get close to these, it doesn't really pick them up very well. There we go.
We have 2 of our EMTs currently taking the paramedic class. SCAT received a National EMS Award last month. It was the Wellness and Resilience Award, and we were honored at the National EMS Conference in New Orleans on September 19 and 20. We were featured in the EMS Expo magazine, and we received a plaque and a donation for $2,200. And as of October 16, we responded to 601 calls this year and 590 last year. Kristen has created the O'Brien County Red Folder Alert Program, and this is the red folder, and it's also been funded with O'Brien County. It's for people in our community and to assist EMS personnel identify important medical information, including medical history, medications, DNRs, and put it in their homes. And this was launched in mid-September, so we're asking people to put their information in here, and then they can put it either on their refrigerators or on top, and then it's available when they need it, or we need it. We continue to have our affiliation with Osceola, Boyden, and Sanborn Ambulance. Some of the community events that we have participated so far in this year is Hero Behind the Badges, O'Brien County Career Day with Sanford Sheldon, Active Attacker with Sheldon Christian School, EMS Week Fundraiser, Bike Rodeo, Ride Fest, Crazy Days, Freeze Pop handouts at the pool and around the community. And we will be having the Haunted Garage with Uptown trick-or-treating in October 31, and we will also be having our Pizza Ranch Delivery Night on November 1 and 2. And this fundraiser supports the annual toy drive that we do with Love Inc. Do you have any?
Okay. Anything you'd like to add? Okay. Any questions from the council?
No.
Comments?
Thank you.
I understand you have 25, you said, current members, and there is room for more yet, is that correct? You're looking, what do you consider fully staffed?
100?
I mean, what's your goal? I mean, you got a kind of a target figure, or?
At least 35 plus.
Okay.
That way it gives everyone, a break, so it doesn't feel like, someone's doing a lot more than the others.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So we can get that in the paper, get that word out a little bit, maybe. All right. Very good. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
All right. City manager's report. Anything you'd like to add today?
I do not.
Todd, anything from you?
No, thank you, Mayor.
Mark? All right. Scott, anything from you today? Okay. Ange?
No thanks.
Council to my left.
Nothing.
I was asked by a couple of people, Todd, are they going to replace any trees in the park? Of those, 4 or 5 people have asked.
As we discussed many times here in this room when we were discussing the ash borer we're in triage mode right now, right? We're getting the trees out. We haven't put a plan together on replacement. And that's not to say there won't be any go back, but there's none going back right away. We have, just as a reminder, we have 672 ash trees to remove in the next few years.
Yeah.
And then apparently some cottonwoods too, based on what we saw at the Hills Park. My
Yeah, yeah, we took out more cottonwoods in Hills Park than we initially planned, but once we saw how hollow they were,
Right.
it became a safety aspect. We had no choice at that point.
No one complained, they just asked if they were going to be replaced.
I've been asked 5 times a day for the last 2 weeks.
Good,
That's maybe a slight exaggeration, but not far from it.
okay.
So fair to say a phase 2 type approach?
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess one more comment on that is when it comes time for replacement, we need to come up with a plan not only to monitor ourselves, but to monitor the community in general. We have such a strong population of ash tree, and I'll bet you if you go back in history, ash was the popular replacement for elm when the Dutch elm came through, if you look at the age of a lot of the ash trees in town. So we cannot make that mistake again. When we go back and start to replace some of what we removed, we need to diversify.
Right.
Yeah, 39% of all of our trees in parks and right-of-ways are ash trees, 33% are maples. So 72% of all of the trees in city parks and right-of-ways are 2 species. That's a problem. I don't have a solution yet.
So Todd, is it fair to say that the public should understand as we continue to remove these trees, that it's going to be a visual change to our community? Maybe not quite to the degree of Hills Park, but still, is it something that they should understand that they're going to, that's coming forward?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Hills Park, I think, is a drastic example. City Park, a lot of trees are gone, but there's still quite a few trees in City Park. It doesn't look quite as bare. And the other thing, when you think about it, those 2 areas are fairly condensed. So I think we removed 47 trees out of City Park, as an example. That happened in a matter of a couple of days, so that's a big change in a hurry. It is going to change throughout the community, but it shouldn't be, it's not as condensed, so hopefully it doesn't have quite as much of a, I guess what I'll call a bad wow factor.
Some of those trees probably should have been gone 20 years ago.
Honestly, Street Superintendent Lyle Frohline and I were out marking trees, and when we were going through City Park, we were initially just marking the ashes, but then we got to looking closer, and there was a lot of places we were simply overpopulated, and by removing a tree out of the middle, we're removing a tree that wasn't very healthy and allowing for 2 others to become healthier. So people need to keep that in mind. And I don't know what our plan to go back is, but I'll take you all back to when we did our park master plans. And we spent a lot of money with RDG out of Des Moines and Mike Bell. And if you recall, one of the things he said that we made errors with and with our parks in the past is overpopulating them and not allow for open recreational space. Yes, that's going to take a visual change, but I think there's some opportunities there as well. If you really look around, we've had a lot of habit of plopping a tree or a water fountain or something in a place that maybe didn't make as much sense of it as it should have. I think we should have planned a little better. So, not a big error, but let's not make that mistake when we go back.
I don't know if you saw in the paper, there was an ad that the city has placed about the 5-year moratorium that's also in place currently for planting trees in the public right-of-way. So that is also in effect as well as part of this whole project.
Yeah, that is
program.
correct. And we have taken a few phone calls out on that already. Some of them are from ash right-of-way trees that we removed. And not to mention that, not only is there a moratorium on that, but there are several trees that will be getting removed that do not meet the tree ordinance anyways. And what I mean by that is they're too close to an intersection, they're too close to a fire hydrant, they're too close to a driveway. There's not enough square footage of green space around the tree for it to live and survive in a healthy manner. So when, if and when we allow trees back in the right-of-way, that needs to be addressed as well. And I say if and when because you all know my vote is not. But I don't get to vote, so that's really
Moving
up to
on.
you guys in the end.
All right. Anything else from my left? How about to my right? Anything from you guys?
No, thank you.
Not today, thank you.
Okay, I just have a couple things a couple people I would like to thank. We took care of a number of appointments today. I'm going to start, want to thank Rob Dixon for his many, many years of service on the Airport Commission. Hats off to him. And then Kelly Gattulo has served on the Crossroads Pavilion Board. Her term expired and she was replaced by Eric Mason. Bailey Francis has had to step down from the Planning and Zoning Commission, so my thanks to her as well. And then finally, Madeline Mulally on the Library Board. She has also had to exit her term a little early. But thanks to all of you, and there are some positions open yet. I have a couple of Board of Adjustment positions and, what's the other one?
Planning Commission.
The
One-
Planning
one
Commission.
Planning Commission and one Board of Adjustment,
Okay.
I think.
I thought, no, Kevin took the Planning Commission.
Okay.
Planning and Zoning. So
So
there's
Kathy Kruger on the Board of Adjustment.
So anyway, people have an interest in that, let me know, and we'll get you up to speed and appointed to the committee. So with that, I have nothing further, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support?
Roll call, please.
Carolina.
Aye.
Hamel.